Tell me more about privacy. Hello and welcome to iPhone Black and White, video series dedicated to help anybody become an iPhone expert, even you. Okay, in this video we are going to be doing basically part 2 of privacy. There was so much information to go over, I couldn't get it all into one video, so this is going to be part 2. And guess what? There's also going to be a part 3 where we are going to be discussing encrypted backups and looking at encrypted data in iCloud. Again, I know this is not probably everybody's favorite subject, and you don't really want to have to watch this video to understand privacy, but this video in particular is going to be really good for you to be able to use. It's going to be very applicable and very easy to understand, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can get a copy of all the information that Apple is actually keeping on you. So if you're truly wondering just how private is your information with Apple, they actually give you the ability to find out specifics. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so the first article that we're going to look at has got some really good links inside of it. And so this article is Understand and Control the Personal Information You Store with Apple. Again, it's from support.apple.com, so you can trust this article. All right, so we're not going to follow the steps they kind of give here because you basically can sign into your Apple ID account page. So if you click this link, it's going to take you to your appleid.apple.com. This is where you manage your Apple account. You can kind of do everything in regards to your Apple ID, including getting a copy of your information. But we're actually just going to go to the website straight away. You don't have to go through here, through that account page in order to get to the website we're going to go to. So the complete set of self-service data and privacy tools is available to customers in over 240 countries. Odds are your country is going to be one of them. So, like I said, there are some links in here that we're going to click on. So, we're going to just kind of read their additional privacy improvements. If you want, I'll leave that there, and then you can just pause, and then you can kind of read through that. And that's enough time. Okay, so you're done paused. Okay, so there's a couple different things that you can do here. So first of all, we're going to click on Get a Copy, but you can see that you can also deactivate your Apple ID temporarily. You might have a different situation where you need to do that, like if you're traveling overseas, something like that, or if you're going to be basically indisposed for a while, you can just basically kind of just shut down the ID. You can even delete your ID and the data associated with it permanently, and they do mean permanently, or even request a correction to your personal data. So let's go ahead and we're going to click on Get a Copy, and this takes us to another article, which is from support.apple.com. If you've watched my videos, you know why I always point out articles from support.apple.com. And so like it's saying here, get a copy of the data associated with your Apple ID account. Now I'm going to show you how we do that. And there were a couple things I just kind of wanted to highlight in here, but basically this article just goes over everything that you can actually request. And so, like they're saying here, the data that is associated with your Apple ID, because in the last privacy video, if you remember, you know, I pointed out, like, for example, the Maps app. See, Maps does not store your information that you use with your Apple ID when you're using the Maps app. So not every app is going to retain that information, but some of the apps will. So it'll account for like your details and your sign-in records, like how often you've signed in, data that you store with iCloud, such as your contacts, calendars, notes, etc. The app usage information, if you're really interested in that, you would just need to turn on screen time on the phone, watch my video on screen time, record of the items you purchased or downloaded from the App Store, etc., etc. You can also simply get to that by clicking on your purchase history, watch my video on the App Store, where you don't need to request this. You can actually just go see it on your phone right now. Records of Apple retail and support transactions. And so that's like anytime you ever have to go into the store for help or contact Apple directly through their Apple support. And then the records of the marketing, communications, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now the rest of this is how to request a copy. And so that's why we're now going to just switch over to the website itself. And we're going to look at some different things here. But they also have some good frequently asked questions here. So definitely make sure you click on this article. Don't forget how we got here. This was simply going to the article I'll list here. And then you click get a copy. And then I'll link this one as well, obviously. But that's just how you get there. And be sure to read over these, because it really does have a lot of good information, and we're just not going to go through all of it right now. Okay, so we are to the privacy.apple.com/account page. Now, we're going to go ahead and sign in. We're going to sign in with my fake ID. And we'll put in my password. Okay, so I put in my password, and now it is asking for my two-factor authentication. So I'm going to hit allow on my phone. I get my code. It is 479884. And we are now signed in. Okay. That code is only temporary. Good luck trying to use it, because you won't see this for months anyway. Okay, so we are now into the data and privacy. We're actually in the account page. So like that other article was saying, you can go through your appleid.apple.com in order to get to this screen, or you can just do it the simple way and actually go to the website itself. Okay, so once we're in here, we're just going to highlight a bunch of stuff here. Now, I went ahead and requested the data category guides. I started that today, and I kind of forgot that I was clicking on it because I was going to wait and show you what happens. But basically, there would be an option here up here near the top to get your data, unless it was this right here. Yeah, actually, it was right here. Okay, so like they're saying on this page, learn about what Apple collects. You can download a summary of the categories of personal information. These guides describe the types of data that may be associated. And see, that's what I've requested, is the data category guides. Get a copy. You can download a copy of your data from Apple apps and services. This may include blah, blah, blah. So like even if we click on request a copy, it takes us over to this page, and then we can actually go down and we can highlight the things that we want to actually receive. So I'm not interested in pulling any of this information because this is all on my fake ID anyway, so there's really nothing for me to get. And so it's pretty straightforward here, guys. This is how simple and easy Apple makes it for you to be able to actually get a copy of the information that Apple has on you. It shows you all the different formats. Most people would be using a PDF format, maybe a CSV, maybe an XML, but mostly PDF. Documents and photos in their original format. Your contacts, calendars, and bookmarks, etc., etc. Okay, so this is kind of the key thing. Your download will not include app, book, movie, TV show, or music purchases. That is not what a copy of this part of the data is going to be. So the only thing, and what this is saying is, it's not going to actually include the app. It's not going to include the book. It's not going to include the movie. But what it will include is, hey, you did purchase. If you bought the movie Signs, it's going to show you that you bought the movie Signs. What you're not going to get in this download is the actual movie Signs. Do you see my point? So don't misunderstand what that's saying, because it's a little confusing. So here's absolutely everything that you can receive. It's everything that would be associated with your ID. And not everything would even be shared with your ID. So for example, like Maps, you can actually download your Maps history. And by the map's history, remember, it's not going to show your exact locations. What it is going to show is like the times that you've used the Maps app. It's not going to give you a detailed information. And so you may be doubting that Apple is actually storing all of that information. Well, Apple says, hey, no problem. If you don't believe that we're not going to show, every place that you've been, if you doubt that, when we say that, then hey, go ahead and request a copy of the information so you can see exactly what is associated with the maps. So, I mean, that's what this website is really going to be all about here. Okay, so getting back to this screen, we can now kind of see what else can you do from the privacy options window here. So this is something new that they've actually implemented. Now they're going to end up incorporating more things, but like for example, you can transfer a copy of your data to another participating service. This option is currently available for your iCloud photos and videos. Now, at the time of this recording, they're not saying it here, but the only real option in order to do this is actually transferring like your photos and videos over to something like, the Google Drive. That is the only thing at the moment that this is actually going to do. They're leaving it kind of broad here in their description because they know they're going to end up having more services that you would be able to use in the future. But as of right now, as of today, if you wanted to, you could actually go here and request to transfer a copy of all the information in your photos in iCloud and transfer all of that information over to like a Google Drive. So again, more stuff will be available in the future, but it's pretty cool what they're going to end up allowing you to do. Correct your data. If you believe that any of your personal information stored by Apple is incorrect, we can help you update it. I'm not going to click on the link. I'm really not too sure how beneficial that is because basically, if you think some of your information is wrong, all you need to do is go to appleid.apple.com and actually just sign in, and all of your information is listed right there, like your name, your Apple ID, your address, etc., etc. So if any of that information is wrong, you can actually just fix it from that page. So we're going to kind of skip over that, but let's get to the last two. Okay, temporarily deactivate your account. You can pause activity on your account and restrict access to your data. You won't be able to access your account or any other apps and services while your account is inactive. So if you click request to deactivate your account, it'll take you to this screen, and then it's going to give you a bunch of, answers here. Like, okay, at any time for any reason, you can request to temporarily deactivate your account. For your security, we verify all deactivation requests. So this process can take up to 7 days. Your account will remain active while verification is progress. Now remember, the reason it takes 7 days is because they don't want people who somehow get, I don't know, like a jilted lover to basically try to get their account deactivated. So it takes time, and it has to get verified in order for that to happen. They go through basically everything here. Apple will not access or process your data. Some exceptions may apply. That could be for something like a subscription to like iCloud storage. For example, you'll not be able to access Apple services or, App Store media purchases. So basically you're shutting down your Apple ID. Like if you temporarily disable it or deactivate it, it is basically going to be shut down, and you're not going to be using anything at all that's associated with that ID. So you've got to remember that. So just make sure that you read over all of that. It'll make more sense. And like they're saying right here, you can resume your account anytime by choosing to reactivate it. Now, all you would need to do to reactivate it as of today is you would come right back to this screen, and to privacy.apple.com. So if you wanted to actually deactivate it, you would come down here and you would pick your reason. And I've got concerns about the privacy, for example, and then hit continue. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do this right now, but that's all that you need to do to deactivate it. So once it's deactivated, and it would then give you the option, if you get back into here, to basically reactivate the account. Now, word of caution. Make sure you don't lose your Apple ID and you don't lose your, or you forget your Apple ID or lose your password. Because Apple cannot reactivate your account. Only you can do this. So if you go down this road, just be forewarned. You're going to have to make sure you understand you're the only one who can reactivate it. Okay, so for the last thing that you can do from this page is requesting to delete your account. So we'll click request to delete your account. And again, it's just like, it's the same kind of page that we just saw about deactivating your account. So you're going to click in here, you would go down here, you would click your reason, and then you would hit continue. And that is pretty much going to be what ends up happening. Now, I'm going to, if you again want to pause and read through everything about what happens when you delete your account. But what we want to read through is our frequently asked questions, because some people would immediately have the question, well, what if I change my mind? So let's get to that. So if we click on the frequently asked questions, it takes us to another article, how to delete your Apple ID account. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom. Right here. What happens if I change my mind after I requested that my account be deleted? While your request is being processed, you can contact Apple support with the unique alphanumeric access code you received, and we'll help you cancel your request. After your account is deleted, Apple can't cancel the request, reopen your account, or restore your data. Guys, they aren't kidding around when they say it's permanent. Okay, quick edit. Guess who decided to not charge his battery or forgot to? Anyway, finishing up this video, there's not really much more to say about privacy part 2, and I did verify it is, at the time of this recording, it is 7 days. So if you decide to delete your Apple ID and you change your mind, you've got 7 days to do it. So just remember, you're going to get that numeric code. Once you get that code, if you change your mind within that 7-day period, that's when you've got to contact Apple support, and they will actually help you cancel that deletion. Now, like I said before, reactivating your account, if you just deactivate it, then you can do that on your own. But if you actually go through the process of deleting the account, that's when you've got to contact Apple support. Okay guys, so that is going to be everything for privacy part 2. The next video that we're going to go through is about encrypted backups. It's not going to be anywhere near as long, and I hope that you really did learn a lot about privacy, how to deactivate your account, how to delete your account. There's a lot of information here, so it can get kind of confusing. But just go back, watch the video again, and make sure that you click on the links for the articles that I'm going to attach to this video as well, because a lot of that information is basically everything that I'm going through in the video is going to be in those articles. So before you make the decision to either deactivate or to especially delete your account, make sure that you really fully understand everything that entails, because a lot of times it just may not be necessary for you to actually delete the account, because once you do, it is permanent, and that is the end. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, come back, learn how to become an iPhone expert, and don't hesitate to send this to your friends and family so I can turn them into iPhone experts as well. Alrighty guys, until next time, see ya.